Good morning, yogis. Good day to you. I'm Vanessa. I'm subbing today for your gentle yoga class. So we'll just go ahead and get started. If you want to find a comfortable seat on your mat or your chair, we'll stay pretty grounded today and stay close to the earth. If you always sit with one leg on top, I recommend changing it up, and that way it allows for the other hip to be open. Bring your shoulders up by your ears. Just let them drop. And you're going to do that two more times. Shoulders up and letting it go. And the last time, squeezing the shoulders and taking them straight back and down. Palms face down, elbows along the side body. And then just begin to close the eyes, soften the skin around your musculature, and just begin to tune into the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling fully and exhaling fully. Now, if you can think about letting your breath bring your spine into alignment, so perhaps the shoulders come a little bit over the hips, and as you lengthen through the crown of the head, perhaps the chin uh, doesn't really tuck necessarily, but kind of slightly points down so that there's elongation in the back of the cervical spine. As you begin to scan your body with breath, beginning from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head, just becoming aware of any places where the breath might get caught. What I mean by that is there might be some places that feel a little sticky or tight, and you're not making up any story about it, you're just coming into awareness. And the same thing here as you're breathing. There might be some places that might feel really light and easy, and there might be some places that are neutral. You're not making up any story about it or judging it in any way. You're just coming into awareness. But say your breath does get caught in a place, you can always bring your attention there. I have a teacher that likes to visualize whatever, creating space around that place that might be a little blocked, or even imagining that that little spot has its own set of lungs. So on your next inhalation, just filling up those little lungs. Then exhaling. You're breathing the fresh prana, chi, life force energy through the body. Now, as you're beginning to scan the body with breath, we'll also start to come into the mind and just acknowledge where you're at today, regardless of what has happened so far during your morning and what's going to happen after. So, just like the weather is always changing outside, the weather is also changing inside. So, we like to watch our thoughts like clouds going by in the sky. So, if our mind begins to get attached to any of those stories, like we'll just kind of reel our attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to the present moment. You can bring your palms together in front of your heart, letting your thumbs and your pinkies press evenly against one another. And then perhaps in a small place of your palms, you'd like to set an intention for your practice. And that can just be simple as being present to be in the breath, but it could also be for compassion or for gratitude or for love. Just letting it be one word that resonates for you. That way, if the mind does wander, you can bring your attention back to your intention, your word, and back to your breath and your body. So, whatever that is for you today, just hold it in your mind and your heart for a moment. Then we're going to inhale together fully. And as we exhale, just follow the mind of the heart. Sealing the intention, releasing the palms, bring the head up slowly, opening the eyes brightly. Good morning. So if you've never taken a class with me today, we are going to stay pretty grounded and stay on the earth, but I wanted to show you a few things because as I'm in Texas, we have had some weather. So anytime the rain comes or there's pollen in the air or anytime the seasons are changing, there's a little allergy. So I have been sharing some of these little tapping techniques for, of course, we know eating a more alkaline diet will create, we don't have as much mucus, but if you have like dairy and gluten, which I definitely did this week, you'll sometimes I wake up and I'm a little inflamed. So I like to take this little tapping technique of just like waking up around the sinuses and the eyes. I mean, so we have like, if you've ever done neti pot or anything like that, it's good to keep these lymph drain, the drainage for your lymph. So I'm taking a fist and I'm kind of like just kind of kneading in my neck area. It can also give you a nice little massage. This is also really helpful um, if you use a certain type of oil, and it could be any type of oil whenever you do like facial massage, or you're in the shower, you're taking your bath. So what we're doing is these points around the ear. You can see here and down the neck. There's a little acupressure points here that help drain. And the reason that you want to do the neck first is like if you've done gua sha with the stones, um, you would want to do your neck first, because if you start tapping and you release all the lymph, it doesn't really have anywhere to go. And then it would just stay caught here. You might still stay puffy or you might stay inflamed. So sometimes just doing a few little these and tapping, I'm making little circles around up to the ear, down. And just sometimes it's nice to get in a nice habit of doing this. It feels really nice. We forget to release the lymph and it kind of wakes up your face. So hopefully maybe you can breathe a little better now. We're going to start off on our backs. So go ahead and be in the middle of your mat. Rock down onto your back. Hug the knees into the belly and rock gently from side to side. So I'm going to have my fingertips, my palms are on my knees, my fingertips are pointing to my toes. So as I inhale, my knees are coming away from me. As I exhale, the knees are coming into the belly. And we're moving to the rhythm of the breath. So I like to let the movement be initiated right at the breath. So as soon as the inhale happens, the knees are drawing away, and exhaling. Now, as you're moving through your Apanasana, it might actually feel good to row the knees. And what I mean by that is the next time my knees come out, I'm going to take them out, down, and in, moving with the breath. So all this is doing is getting more into the inner groin and into opening the pelvis, or the hips, actually. Ooh. And we'll go a few directions, in whichever direction you're going, and then we'll switch. So going in, down, and out, or the opposite way if you're rowing your knees. One more round, and then I'm going to set my legs like bridge pose. So my feet are going to be hip distance apart. My knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. I personally like to interlace my hands behind my skull, bring the elbows in, so I have a little overpressure. You might get a little snap, crackle, pop. I just did. And I'm going to walk my shoulder blades away from my hips. All this is doing here is creating length in the side body. So when I set my skull down and I'm in a bridge, I have a nice long length of spine versus feeling a little more compressed. I'm going to extend my right leg up towards the ceiling. I'm clasping behind the right thigh, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Here I can point and flex, maybe roll the ankle, but I'm not locking out this leg, even though if I say active, it means I'm going to flex that extended leg. Otherwise, but we're keeping a micro bend. So we're going to inhale here as we extend. As we exhale, we're drawing the knee into the belly. So we're going to do this a few times, moving to the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling, extending. Exhaling, knee into the belly. And the last time that this one comes in, you can come into half happy baby. So you'll either take your hand to the outer edge of that right foot, drawing the right knee towards your right armpit. So here, like I have my left knee bent, pointing up towards the ceiling to keep the pelvis somewhat and keep level, right? To keep it fairly even. So I'm relaxing the jaw. I'm drawing the right knee towards the right armpit, keeping the pelvis neutral. Shoulders away from ears, and breathing. Now, sometimes I like to take my left palm on top of my left thigh, extend that left leg out onto the mat. Relax the jaw. Another full breath. Then we'll hug that right shin and extend that left leg if it isn't extended already. And then we'll come into a supine twist, taking that right knee across the left side of the body and opening up that right arm. Maybe the gaze follows at shoulder height. Now, if a supine twist is too much for the low back, you're more than welcome to just take stacked knees over to that side. That is a little bit easier. You could always put a block between your knees to keep the hips square. But allow your bones to feel heavy. Notice if you're gripping anywhere in your body or your mind. See if you can relax in your next exhalation. One more breath. And then we'll come back to center. Hug the knees in. And then we'll set ourselves for bridge again. If you want to interlace behind the skull and walk the shoulder blades back again. Setting the skull down, and now we'll extend the left leg up towards the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears, and then pointing and flexing that foot, maybe rolling the ankle. And then we will move to the rhythm of our breath. We'll extend on the inhalation without locking out the leg, exhaling knee into belly. Last one. And this time as the knee comes in, we'll come into half happy baby on this side. So taking the outer edge of that left foot, sole of the foot towards the ceiling, drawing that left knee towards your left armpit, keeping the pelvis neutral, relaxing the jaw. And then perhaps taking that right palm on top of right thigh and extending that right leg actively onto your mat. Oof. One side might be completely different than the other side, and that is okay. One more breath. And then we'll hug that left shin in, extending the right leg out if it isn't extended already. And then we'll come into supine twist on this side, opening the left arm out at shoulder height, palm up. Or perhaps taking the stacked knees over to the right. Yogi's choice. Do what is best for your body today. One more breath. Then we'll come back to center, hugging the knees into the belly, rocking from side to side. Now you have two choices here. You can rock over to your side. We're going to eventually come in through hands and knees, or you can hug behind your knees if it's all right with your back, and do a couple of spider rolls, catching yourself in Navasana, boat pose. Just a little abs here. Last time you come through, we'll just cross up the ankles and we'll come out into a tabletop position. So my wrists are underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips, hip distance apart. You can be on the tops of your feet here if you want to stretch your toes and your plantar fascia of your feet. You can tuck the toes. Inhale, allow the belly to drop. Tail towards the ceiling, nose towards the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button back to spine. Move into the rhythm of your breath. The same thing here, we're not locking out our elbows. We're just rinsing the spine. And at any time, if you want to move a little more organically here, what I mean by that is maybe you want to move through cow, through cat, maybe sneaking it back, child's pose. Linking these together for Chakrasana. Take a few breaths to gaze within, close the eyes, ask your body what it wants to do and do that. So maybe it's making circles with the hips or figure eights with the shoulder blades. Maybe it's just doing cat cow. Maybe it's cat cow to child's pose. The next time that we come through our tabletop position, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to bring my right hand slightly to the middle and bring my left arm up to twist. Now I'm not locking out that standing elbow, and you'll notice my hips shifted a little to the left, so if I square them out, I don't get major height in the twist, but they're in the upper thoracic spine of the body here, and then exhale. I come through, thread the needle. I'm releasing my temple to the earth. I'm squaring my I'm squaring my hips here. You can bring this top palm on top of the bottom palm and press in to get into the upper mid back, or you can also tense up on these fingertips using the pressure of your hand to kind of take the twist deeper if you choose. I like to think about the space between my shoulders and my ears here, trying to relax my jaw. I can extend the right foot straight back or out to the right, like a little kickstand, yogi's choice. That just gives a little more overpressure. You might find a sweet spot on the back of your deltoid. Breathe. One more breath. And then if the arms and legs are extended, we'll bring them back in. Press into the strength of your right hand. We'll shake that out. Do a little cat-cow to rinse the spine. Then we're going to take that on the other side. I'm going to turn around so my back isn't to you here. So now my left hand comes slightly to the middle. My right arm lifts up. Same thing. My hips shifted slightly to the right, so I'm going to square them out. So that takes a twist into the upper thoracic spine, and then exhale. I thread the needle on this opposite side. Same thing, maybe placing top hand onto the other hand or using those fingertips tense it up for overpressure. Paying close attention to the space between the shoulder and the ear, relaxing the jaw. Maybe extending the left foot straight back or out to the left like a kickstand. Yogi's choice. Breathe. One more breath. And then if the arms and legs are extended, we'll bring it back in, press with the strength of your left hand, and shake it out. And we'll do a little cat-cow here. All right, I'm going to extend my left leg straight back. Let me move up a little. I'm warming up the back of my calf muscle now just by rocking back and forth through the heel. So you'll feel it up in the back of the calf muscle. So my shoulders are staying over my wrists. And then from here, I'm going to lift my foot at hip height. But you'll notice I'm keeping it fairly active by keeping the foot flexed and the toes pointing down. Now, I'm not just letting it hang. It's almost like I'm getting the leg and I'm sucking it into its socket, if that makes any sense. It's drawing everything to the midline of the body. You can stay here, or you can extend that opposite arm, drawing the shoulder into its socket, palm faces in. We're in bird dog pose, or sunbird pose, my bad. And you can stay here, or if you want to challenge yourself, we'll do some abs, so elbow to knee, or you can also have both palms down, your choice, okay? Inhaling here, exhale, elbow to knee, or just knee to knee for 5. Letting it be slow and steady, thinking about drawing everything to the midline. And after that last one, we'll plant that right hand. Now coming into a side plank variation. My left hand comes to my left hip. Now with this bottom shin, you can keep it parallel. It's going to be more challenging, or you can kind of use it as a kickstand here. And you'll notice that my left foot here is on the earth. The sole of the foot is earth and the foot is parallel. I'm not locking out this elbow, keeping it nice and micro bent, and I'm keeping my hands spread wide, but I'm using the isometric resistance of the hand drawing together to draw everything in. So here you are in side plank. You can also extend this top arm out, squeezing the shoulder blades in the back, and perhaps the gaze goes up towards the left thumb if that's all right with your neck. Inhale here. As you exhale, maybe windmill that arm alongside your ear, just breathing into the side body. We release. Hands and knees. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. And then we'll do that on the other side. I will turn around so that my back isn't to you. So now I am extending my right, follow my foot straight back, rocking back and forth, just opening up and warming up the back of the calf muscle. And then I'm going to lift that at my hip height. You'll kind of see I'm not just hugging in there. You kind of see me like draw the shoulder or the leg into its socket. And then opposite arm, shoulder blade draws back, palm faces in. Same thing here, either knee to nose or elbow to knee if you're challenging yourself. For 5, exhale. Last one. Planting the left hand. And then coming into our side plank variation on this side. So setting it, taking your time to set it up. So if you have to, use this little left shin as a kickstand, by all means do so. Right hand on hip. I'm already kind of squeezing the shoulder blades on the back, and I'm trying to not lock out that standing elbow. Maybe I extend the top arm, maybe my gaze follows to that right thumb if that's okay for my neck. Feel nice and expansive. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, windmill that arm alongside the ear, breathing into the side body. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cow pose. Now from here, we're going to come down onto our forearms. So this is grabbing opposite elbows, and my elbows directly underneath my shoulders or slightly in front. I'm interlacing my hands here. Some people like to just take 2 fists like such, or interlacing and tucking the bottom pinky, your choice. And we're going to do a little cat-cow from here. The main thing here is getting into the upper mid-back, so we're really opening that heart. Inhale here, exhale. So it's like cat-cow, but it's taking it up into that upper mid-back behind those shoulder blades. And they say that the back body, right, is our past. And our shoulder blades specifically is where we hold grief, which makes sense because that's the back door of the heart. So if anything comes up for you today, just be coming into awareness about it. You're in a safe space, so you can make note, coming into awareness if anything comes up for you today. Take another cat-cow here. Then we're going to slide out into Sphinx posture. So normally we'd have our feet hip distance apart, but if you have any low back stuff happening or your low back feels a little more sensitive, then you might want to take your feet wider, even maybe as wide as your mat or wider than such. I'm trying to keep my elbows. I'm grabbing the opposite elbows to try to keep good alignment here so they'll stay directly underneath my shoulders or slightly in front. And then when I open them out parallel, it's as if I am pretending I have suction cups on my hands and I'm drawing back and the heart comes forward, like almost dragging the heart forward, if that makes any sense. But I'm rooting into my pubic bone. I'm rooting into my 10 toes, even though you probably can't tell. And what that does is actually helps, if I'm just hanging here without rooting into the pubic bone or the 10 toes, there's a lot of compression that could be happening in my low back. So you might even feel like some space is created there as I drag my suction cup hands and my heart forward, lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhale, look over one shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, opposite shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, shake it up. And inhale. We'll do that one more time. Again, staying under Sphinx pose. Exhale. Inhale to center. And then exhale. Inhale to center. And then exhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades, chin towards the chest. Last time as we inhale. Exhale over one shoulder. Inhale to center, exhale over opposite shoulder. Inhale to center, exhale. Squeeze the shoulders, chin to chest. Raise yourself back up. Hands and knees, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. We're going to extend our right foot up and back. As we exhale, we're going to draw that right foot forward. We're coming to a low lunge. Now, in our low lunge, my fingertips are on either side. You could also have a block here if you want. Sink the hips forward. You might even want to give yourself some space by taking your left hand off the mat, or you can have your left hand directly underneath your shoulder. I'll leave that up to you. Maybe you want to give yourself a little bit of space, but we're still not locking out that elbow. My right hand is coming on top of the meaty part of my thigh, not on the knee or any pressure there. And what I'm doing here is I'm pressing into that thigh to roll that top shoulder back and take the twist. Maybe my gaze and my arm extends if that feels okay. Now from here, we'll take that top arm straight back, and I'm going to gaze down at my left thumb. I'm opening the side of my neck. It's called scaling here. Inhale here as we exhale. Right hand comes to the inside of your right foot. We're coming into lizard pose or iguana pose. Soften the elbows, but draw the heart forward like cow pose. Now I'm drawing my front shin towards my front forearm. This gets more into your hip. You could also knife edge out onto that right foot, kind of tilt it out. That gets more to inner growing. So that's yogi's choice here. One more breath. And then I'm going to walk this right foot over towards my left. I'm coming into a pigeon posture. We won't be here for an extended amount of time, but the more parallel this front shin is to the front of the mat, the more intense it's going to be of a hip opener for you. Inhale here. Breathe. And if this doesn't work for anyone, we can also take the variation on your back, which is a figure 4, which is where I would just cross my right ankle over my left. And this would be your variation of pigeon on the back. Okay, we're going to inhale here. I'm going to just rock over onto my right hip. I'm bringing my left foot all the way around. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So my left foot either comes to the inside or to the outside of that bent right knee. Hug my shin in, but I'm also trying to root down into that front toe pad. Find the length here. We're going to take a twist. As I exhale, I'm twisting over to the left. But you'll notice, let me show you from the side. I'm tensing up on these back fingers, rolling that shoulder back in order to get the twist. So maybe my knee comes into my elbow nook, or my elbow comes to the outside of the knee, but it doesn't have to. You can just hug it here. But what I want to do is not trying to hug in like I just did or hunch. Try to find the length of the spine. As I exhale, the belly button draws back, and that's where the twist comes from. So I'm not really cranking with the arms. I'm letting the twist come from the belly. Take one more breath, wringing out the spine with your breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to keep the twist, but we're just going to take the gaze forward towards that right shoulder and left toe. Breathing into the left side of the neck, the scaling here. And release. So I'm going to keep my left knee on top of my right. You can also just draw these in just like such. If you're on the back, you can totally do the same stretch. You just hug the knees in or hug the feet in. So you'll see that I wiggled in here. You can even kind of massage the tops of your feet or get those root chakra going. Inhale here and exhale, fold forward. Any amount. And we'll inhale, bring it up. Unwind. So you can just be here, and I have my fingertips pointing towards the front. If you have really tight shoulders, it might feel better to have your thumbs pointing forward and your fingers out to give your shoulders more space, rolling the shoulders, lifting the heart. You can be here, or you can come into reverse tabletop. You can keep your chin tucked or let your head hang back, whatever's best for your neck. I like to keep my neck protected, so I keep my chin tucked. One more full breath, and then exhale, let it go. Make our way out to hands and knees. Inhaling cow pose, exhaling cat pose. Achoo! Achoo, excuse me. Speaking of cats. All right, I'm going to turn around so that way my back isn't to you as I extend my left foot. Straight back. As I exhale, my left foot will come forward. I'm coming to my low lunge on this side here, setting myself up. And one side might be completely different than the other side, and that's okay. Relax the jaw, sink the hips forward. And then you might even want to give yourself more space, like on the opposite side. So right hand comes out to the right, not locking out that elbow, left hand to meaty part of your thigh, to press into the thigh to roll the top shoulder back. Maybe extend the arm, maybe gaze follows. Continue to sink the hips forward. And then we'll go ahead and release that hand straight back to the back of the room. Gaze goes down towards right thumb. Breathing into the side of your neck. As we exhale, your left hand comes to the inside of that left foot. We're coming into iguana pose or lizard pose. Soften the elbows, heart comes forward. If you want to stick your tongue out like a lizard or an iguana, you can totally do that. Allow your shin to draw in towards that left forearm, if that's the variation that you're taking today. One more breath. And then we'll walk that left foot over towards that right hand, coming into your variation of pigeon on this side. So if you took the modified version, you'll do the same here. Tilting up. But there's this drawing action that's happening, right? So I'm not collapsing in the low back here. I'm using a scissoring action of drawing everything into the midline. That's helping protect the back. One more nice full breath. And then I'm going to rock over to my left side and bring that right foot around. Maybe to the inside or to the outside. Coming into our modified cow face pose. Well, actually, this is just a twist up here. So first I'm hugging the shin in. I'm rooting into this front toe pad. And same thing, we'll take a twist to the right now. Tensing up on those back fingertips to roll that shoulder back. Maybe the knee comes into the elbow nook or elbow to outside of the knee. One more breath. And then we'll keep the twist but take the gaze forward to that front toe. And then we'll release. I'm going to bring that right knee on top of my left knee. So see me wiggle out here. Maybe take my little fist and tap, tap, tap my root chakras here in the bottom of my feet. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward, any amount. You should be feeling this more on your outer hip, maybe even glute area. Inhale, bring it up, release. Same thing here, either just opening the chest or coming into a reverse tabletop. And then slowly lowering, crossing at the ankles, coming to hands and knees, inhaling cow pose, exhaling cat pose. Inhaling the right foot up and back as we exhale, the right foot comes forward. Come into our low lunge once again. This time, either keeping the hands down or bringing the hands up. You could bring them into a cactus shape. You could take them all the way up if you want. You can even just have them right here on the meaty part of your thigh. Sink the hips forward, relax the jaw. So I'm going to bring my right hand to the top of my right thigh. I'm extending my left arm alongside my ear. As I exhale, I'm sinking the hips forward and I'm crescenting slightly to the right. Ooh, just breathing into that left psoas. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll take the twist. Let's try bringing the left hand directly underneath the left shoulder. That way we'll have good alignment in the back of our spine, extending out. Try not to lock out the elbow. As we exhale, that right hand goes straight to the back of the room. Left hand, gaze goes down towards left thumb. And then as we exhale, left hand to inside of your right hand to the inside of right foot. So maybe if you have your shin drawing towards your forearm on that last round, maybe coming in coming to the knife edge of that right foot. Pardon my speech. I only had a little bit of green tea this morning. Or if you were opening the groin, perhaps the opposite. Just checking it out, you know. We sometimes get stuck in our ways and sometimes we need a new perspective. One more breath. And then we'll take that right foot alongside the left hand, coming into our pigeon variation on this side. This time, as you set up your pigeon, you'll fold forward any amount. So maybe coming down to the forearms. I like to bring these little prayer hands and bring these two thumbs right here to where your nose and your face kind of meet. There's a little pressure point. So if you have any sinuses or allergies, sometimes this can open it up. Slowly begin to bring yourself all the way up. We'll rock over to that right side again, drawing that left leg around. Coming into our twist. Inhaling here, exhaling, taking your twist. Keep the twist, but we'll take our gaze forward to that front toe. And then we'll release. We'll just bring that left knee on top of the right knee, wiggling ourselves in for our cow face. This is a modified version of cow face. If you wanted to take a full version, you would bring that right hand bending at the elbow. So I'm pressing the back of my skull into my forearm. You can take the bind here if you wanted. I'm just grabbing the back of my sports bra, the back of my tank top, and then exhale, folding forward any amount. This is a nice little shoulder opener. If that doesn't work for your shoulders today, just holding forward any amount is fine. Inhaling, bringing yourself up, releasing. Either just opening the chest or coming into reverse tabletop. Yogi's choice. Cross up the ankles. Coming through, hands and knees. Inhaling cow pose, exhaling cat pose. And now we'll inhale the left foot up and back. As we exhale, the left foot comes forward, coming into our low lunge. So either keeping your hands all the way down or bringing your hands to your thigh, sinking the hips forward. So bring my left hand to the top of my left thigh. I'm extending my right arm alongside my ear as I exhale, sinking the hips forward and crescenting over to the left. Inhale here as we exhale. Bring that right hand directly underneath the right shoulder to take your twist here. Maybe extending that left arm up. And then we'll take that left hand straight back. We'll take our gaze down to right thumb. As we exhale, we'll windmill that left hand alongside the ear to the inside of the left foot. So taking our variation of lizard or iguana pose here. So if you had previously been drawing the shin towards the forearm, maybe coming to the knife edge of that left foot, getting more into the inner groin. Soften the heart forward, relax the jaw. And then walking that left foot towards your right hand, coming into your variation of pigeon. When you set yourself up, you'll fold forward any amount. Some people like to take two fists and rest their third eye on that. Or you can bring those prayer hands together and thumbs rest right there where the crease of your nose meets your forehead. Opening up your sinus passage. Relax the jaw. We'll inhale. Slowly bring yourself up. We'll rock onto that left side, bringing that right foot around, hugging that shin in, and we'll take our twist here. Inhaling and exhaling, taking the twist to the right. Keeping the twist, we'll take the gaze towards that front right toe. Release. Right knee stays on top of the left knee, wiggling yourself here. And then if you wanted to take the full variation of cow face pose, we'll bend that left elbow, pressing the skull back into the forearm, maybe reaching. This side's a little tighter for me, so if you just need to grab the back of your bra. But what I'm trying not to do is hunch in, even if it is tight. So keep enough space so I have plenty of space for my neck here, and then exhale, fold forward any amount. Inhale, bring it up, release. Your choice, either just opening the chest or coming into your last reverse tabletop, opening the chest, keeping the feet parallel. Exhale. Before, I wanted to share a couple of little stretches before we move to cooling down onto the back. One of my favorite stretches. Now, this one is more, you can do this a couple of ways. I'm going to bend this bottom leg, we'll start. And really, you can be like, knees can be like such. Some people like to be with their legs as such. What you're going to do is put your weight onto, like, so I'm putting my weight onto my left glute. And what I'm doing here is I'm making little circles. And go gently, because this can be, depending on how much you use your glutes and how much walking or running or squatting you do, this can be fairly intense. Now, some people have done this on lacrosse balls, or like some places you can get on a foam roller, but just go gently. Because we did, do a little bit of lunging, opening the hips. This could feel nice, or it could be intense to let you know, like, oh, that might be a spot where I need to pay a little more attention to. You can always take the circle to the opposite direction too. And then we'll go to the other glute. So I'm just kind of shifting my weight onto that one little sit bone. You'll feel it. It's going to be there are the muscles there. You should be able to feel it. So you're just kind of making some little circles, maybe in either direction, going gently and just kind of observing like you would if you were on a foam roller, just kind of paying attention to these places that grip without us even realizing that they're gripping. All right, soles of the feet together. Walking my sit bones back now. My heels are coming forward. This is Karmasana, turtle pose prep. I like to cut my ankles here, roll the shoulders back. Inhale here and exhale, fold forward any amount. This is really a great stretch for your low back. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring the knees together to close. Hopefully be in the middle of your mat, and we're going to roll back down onto the back. Very similar to where we started, hugging the knees into the belly. And rocking gently from side to side. Inhaling the knees away, exhaling the knees into the belly. The next time the knees come away at a 90-degree angle, you can open your arms down to a T, palms face up. And exhale, let those stack knees come over to the right. You could also take a traditional supine twist if that's better for your body. We're going to be here for about 7 to 8 breaths. Soften that left shoulder blade to the earth. Relax your jaw. Relax your bones. Inhale to center. And exhale, we'll take those knees to the opposite side. Letting the bones feel heavy here. One more breath. Coming back to center, hugging the knees into the belly. Coming into a modified version of shoulder span. So I'm going to bring my hands like such underneath my bones. So this triangular shape will be exactly where my sacrum is roughly. Then extend my legs up towards the ceiling. I'm not locking out my knees. You can point and flex your feet, maybe roll the ankles here. But basically all that energetic grounding work that we did, I'm just letting the feet, pulling it up from the feet, into my knees, into my thighs, into my hips, growing belly, heart, throat, third eye. If you have a shoulder stand practice and you would prefer to do shoulder stand, you're more than welcome to do so. Taking another full breath here, letting all that energy coming out in our shoulder stand. As I exhale, if you're in shoulder stand, you can always take your Havasana or cloud pose, but for those of us that are in this variation, I'm just going to lower my legs down to the earth slowly using my core. I'm drawing my elbows and my forearms alongside my body to press into the elbows and forearms, lift the heart and the chest. It's like I'm bringing pressure to the top of my head, but there is no pressure. I'm pointing my toes, modified fish posture. And then release. Bring the knees into the belly. Give yourself a hug, rock gently from side to side. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, for bound ankle pose or butterfly pose on the back. And then with the shoulders away from the ears and allowing the tailbone to unfurl, we're trying to maintain that tailbone unfurling as I open up the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, coming into full happy baby, rocking gently from side to side on the low back. Now, if there's any last postures your body is craving to do before you're coming out into your final relaxation posture of Shavasana, by all means, just if you do any twisting, do something symmetrical like happy baby or Apanasana. If you do any twisting and whatnot. Otherwise, you'll come out into your final relaxation posture of Shavasana. You're more than welcome to come into a seated meditation as well. Wherever you are, take a nice big inhalation. As you exhale, let it go. Soften the skin around your musculature. Soften the eyes. Maybe even swallow here and relax your throat, your jaw. Release the neck, throat, all the way out to the shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingertips. Release your upper, mid, and low back into the support of the earth. Release your hips, your glutes, your thighs, backs of your knees, calves, ankles, feet, and toes. Settling into deeper relaxation with each exhalation. Feeling the support of the earth, surrendering into the support of the earth, surrendering into deeper relaxation with each exhalation. Slowly bring your attention back to your breath and back to your body. Inhaling fully, exhaling fully. All the way out to your fingers and all the way out to your toes. Just wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe making some circles with your wrists and your ankles, just stirring the body slowly awake. Take a nice long body stretch, reaching overhead, reaching through your hands and your feet. Let it go with a big sigh. That felt pretty good. You can do that one more time. Inhaling, extending, maybe interlacing the hands and pressing them outward. Big stretch, let it go. Just hug the knees into the belly. Give yourself a hug simply just for showing up. Rocking gently on your low back from side to side till you rock over to one side and just make a little pillow with that bottom arm. Bring yourself back to the present moment. As you're ready, you'll press yourself up to a cross-legged position, just like we started. Eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Just take a moment to come back to your intention, back to your word. Notice if anything shifted for you today from the beginning of class to this moment. Let's thank our bodies for all the work that they did today. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to honor yourselves and your practice. It's my honor and my privilege to be able to share my practice with you. The light and dark in me sees and acknowledges the light and the dark in you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. I hope that this gentle yoga was beneficial for you. I normally teach on Saturday mornings. That's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time and 8:30 Central Standard Time, which is where I am. Saturday mornings, you can always click the link in the Bounty and Soul and sign up for that. We also have Zumba and the gentle yoga class. So until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.